This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello, all. Welcome to the next session on SAP ABAP. And in the last few classes, we have discussed about what exactly the SAP and what is the SAP R3 architecture. And also, we have seen the fundamentals of the SAP ABAP. And also, we have seen data dictionary to manage all your database objects. And also, we have seen some kind of reporting and what is classical reporting and interactive reporting and sales and distribution flow. And also we have discussed about the business flows, sales and distribution, and also material management. And also we have seen some of the select statements. So not some, almost 14 to 15 select queries, how you can query the data from the database. And also we have seen batch data communication, how can you upload the data from the database. And also we have seen the reporting events. So what exactly the events and what is initialization, what is at selection screen and all. And also we have seen the forms techniques, smart forms, and also interfaces, RFC, BAPI, and ALE IDOCs, and HTTP interfaces with HTTP framework. And also we have seen OData services, what exactly the OData. And we have seen the SAP automation, SAP Robo, the SAP workflow. So we have seen and we have deep dived into that concept. And so today I'm going to discuss about the most important and the most demanding concept. The concept is called ABAP on HANA. So what exactly the HANA and what exactly the how you can do, what kind of things you can do as an ABAPer on the HANA database. So that concept we are going to see in the today's class. And so I am going to start what exactly the HANA in today's class. So new slide. ABAP on HANA. So can anybody tell? So before going to the ABAP on HANA, so I would like to discuss some of the disadvantages with the RDBMS systems, guys. So can anybody tell what is the disadvantages of the RDBMS database systems? So one is the performance. Okay, reusability. Yes, we can do the reusability. So why this will give
Integrate.
the, yeah, second one is the perfect integration. Yeah, then so okay, before going to that, so I'm going to explain about SAP R3 architecture first. So let me introduce SAP R3 architecture. So we have the presentation layer, first presentation layer, right? And that is your SAP GUI. And next we have the application layer. So it's your ABAP NetViewer layer, application layer, where all the ABAP objects will run. It provides a runtime environment for all your ABAP objects. That's an application layer. And also we have a database layer, and it's an RDBMS database layer. It can be the Oracle and MS SQL, or it can be the what is that, IBM DB6, some of the database I know. So this is the some of the popular RDBMS database systems. Suppose as a name, what I am going to do. So first I am going to send some request from the front end, from the GUI, from the presentation layer, and the request goes via dispatcher to the application layer via dispatcher or work processor. So you might you have learned these concepts in the SAP R3 architecture. So the request comes via the dispatcher, and this dispatcher will keep the your request in the queue, and it will release your request in based on the FIFO process, first in first out process. Then work processor is the actual component which is going to be do the actual work. Like there are different kind of work processor. We have dialog work process, update work process, NQ work process, background work process, spool work process. There are different kind of work processor. Work processor are responsible to execute your task, and then the request goes to the database. Suppose if you want to read the data from the database, then it goes to the database, and also it will return, the request will return control C and control V. So the data will return back to your ABAP layer or application layer, and the data will be displayed to the user on the presentation layer, guys. So here, so if you see the request, so first request goes to the application layer will goes to the a database, and from database it comes to the application layer, and it goes to the presentation layer. So the database is not closer to the client. It doesn't closer to the client. So this gives the very less performance. So it provides very less performance. It doesn't kept, the database is doesn't kept closer to the your client, guys, client or your presentation layer. So that way it provides less performance, one of the less performance. And also with the directly, if you want to integrate with your database systems, you need to have an adapters. So that's the adapters is most costliest, and that is also one of the thing. And the other thing is, um, one is performance, and another uh, most HANA talks about, it's mostly on the performance side, guys. So mostly it provides the performance compared to all other features. So why SAP come up with why SAP want to go with the new innovations is, so previously what happened, so whenever if you want to store your data, and we are going to have multiple systems first. And so let's take an example of, in the real time, you see a lot of systems like, okay, SAP ECC, and you see controls, sorry, control chat, and you see SAP. Uh, I'm talking about large scale industries case. We have SAP CRM for the customer relationship management. We have SAP SRM for the procurements, and we have SAP MDG for the master data management. Okay, and also we have other non-SAP systems as well to handle different kind of things. We have even different non-SAP systems, non-SAP systems. So normally this is the landscape of any company, large scale companies. Suppose if I would like to take some strategic decisions as an a CEO or as a business process owner, so definitely we need to do any reporting. So if you want to do the reporting, maybe I can warehouse the data in the SAP BW system. So all the data will be warehoused on top of SAP BW system. And if you want to do reporting on top of it, and we are going to do the reporting on some of the reporting tools, guys. This is my reporting tools, and I'm going to fetch the data. Sorry. So So maybe we are going to fetch the data from the SAP BW, and we are going to report the data on top of by using some of the reporting tools. So, but when I want to do any reporting, are you going to get any real time data? No. Why? Because first the data, the transactions will happen in the transactional system. These systems we will call it's an uh, OLTP systems, guys. OLTP system. What exactly the OLTP is? So online transactional processing. So let's example create a sales order. Okay, it's a transactional processing, guys. Create an invoice, create a delivery, all comes into the OLTP systems. The say creating a sales order will done in the SAP ECC. So these systems will provide the OLTP, and this is the reporting tool system. It provides the OLAP functionality. Even this provides OLAP functionality. What is OLAP? It's an online uh, online analytical processing. Okay, so if you want to do in a transaction, we are going to use the transactional systems. If you want to do in a analytics on top of your data, we are going to use the OLAP systems. You might have right SAP BO. So there are some reporting tools. We have SAP BO and Talent. Okay, we have different kind of softwares. And what are the other reporting tools? Maybe I can use some UI also. I can use some analytics. Okay, so this is the thing, and where we are not going to get any real-time data. We will not be getting the real-time data. First, the data will be extracted to the BW system. BW system, they are going to take all the data. So, which is not a if the business user want to take the strategic decisions, it is going to take a lot of time. And to run the reports also, maybe you are going to have a lot of delta loads also. So this is also one of the reason why we need to have, so why we need to store the data in warehouse system. So why don't we have a big database, so where we can have the where we can provide the OLTP as well as the OLAP. So where we can do the online transactional processing, and also we can do the on top of the online transactional processing, where we can do the online analytical processing, guys. This is also one of the idea of SAP. So if they want to achieve this, if they want to combine both OLTP and OLAP systems, they need to have a big database. So if they want to have a big database, and whenever you go with the big database, as well as you need to think about the performance. So how we can achieve the performance. So what kind of strategies or what kind of innovative things we can do. So with the database. So that's what they are going to that's what the idea behind the database. So the database SAP has introduced is the instead of RDBMS systems. So they have come up with the new database system. The new database system is called, it's an HANA database case. So this is the HANA database. Okay. So HANA stands for high. So if you see the name itself, so high performance. Okay, it is mainly for the performance, high performance, and also it's an analytical, high performance analytical appliance, guys. So it's an HANA stands for high performance analytical appliance. So guys, it's not a database. If you see the name, it's not a database, it's an appliance. Okay, what it exactly the appliance stands for? So appliance stands for, it's a combination of hardware and software, guys. So it's not only in a database, it's an appliance. So they call it an appliance. Appliance stands for appliance means for, it's a combination of and hardware and software functionality. So ANA is a name, high performance analytical appliance. It's a name, it's the combination of and hardware and software, guys. So what are the, why SAP come up with this idea, why we need to mix up both the things in a single appliance. So the motivation and the motivation behind the ANA database is, so previously so previously before going to that, I would like to know how exactly the computer works, guys. Computer works. So what components of the computer? Hmm? Maybe we will be having a disk, right? And also uh, we have the RAM. So because I'm going to talk about first hardware, because I should know some of the fundamentals about the hardware, and control C and control V, and we have an CPU. CPU stands for, what is a CPU? Central and which contains the motherboard, guys. So motherboard and also motherboard and processor. Okay, that's a CPU, and that process we are going to call it's a course, guys. The processor we are going to call it's a course. Okay, so when I am studying, I used to we used to talk about the processor, right? So there I think we have the Pentium processor. So the computer starts with a Pentium processor. Then I think we heard about dual core processor and octa core processor. Now quadra core processor, guys. So we have these many types of processor. Now it's a quadra core processor that is running nowadays. So that's a course. I can say it's one core is the single core, and we have even multi-core processors. The hardware innovations. Before we used to have Pentium and the dual core, quadra core, and like this we have now almost we have multi-core processing, the hardware innovation side, and also you can see like this, and we have multi-core processing, and also how exactly your computer works, guys. So how exactly this is the hardwares. So how exactly your computer work? So is your computer work without something? Without something, is your computer is going to work? What is that? Huh? OS, guys, operating system. So this is also a very important thing. So it is going to take the request from your CPU, and it is going to give the signals. So by using an assembly language, guys. So there is an assembly language in the OS level. So the language we are going to call it's an assembly language. Okay, these are all the some of the fundamentals about your store your data. This is the fundamental of your computer. So and RAM is a random access memory which is going to put all your data in buffer, and also which is used to provide the runtime environment for your operating system, guys. That's a name, RAM. Actually, this is a normal computer, how the computer is going to work, guys. Even OS level also there is a lot of advancement. Before it's in a 32-bit operating system, now it comes to the 64-bit operating system, guys. There are a lot of innovations in terms of the performance, and now you can see. Okay, in the hard disk also, previously I used to see like this. So I used to see like this 1000 rpm. So rpm, what is the rpm, guys? Huh? So rotation per minute, that means it indicates the speed. Okay, speed of your hard disk. Okay, so for minute it will hard disk made up with the iron plate. Not only iron plate, if you see the even cd, how exactly the cd works, even the same way hard disk is going to work. And hard disk is built upon by using electric magnetic, okay, plates, and which is going to rotate, guys. So the rotation indicates the speed of your the data, how you are going to store, or how you are going to read the data from your hard disk. That's an rpm. So it's a rotational per minute, and also now it becomes rotations per seconds, guys. So before it's a rotation per minute, now it comes to the rotation per seconds. How many rotations per your second, guys? So there are a lot of innovations and advancements in the hardware side. So even when I want to bought the hard disk, sorry guys, all. So it's all about the history of why HANA comes. So what is the SAP motivation behind the HANA database? So by seeing all these hard disk innovations, even so previously if I want to buy an hard disk, almost the cost wise, so buying a hard disk almost the cost, maybe previously we will be having 256 GB mm, of the RAM, which is equal to almost 3000 rupees long back in 2000 to the 2005. But now we are going to get the 1 TB data, okay, with only of 1000 rupees cost, guys. So see the difference. Before 256 GB RAM, sorry, GB hard disk, we are going to get for the 3000, but now the prices are reduced drastically, guys. So 1 TB of hard disk I am getting for the 100 rupees, guys. So there is a lot of drastic reductions in the hardware side. And also RAM also, if you see the RAM also, so there is a lot of reductions. So maybe that time even it's a RAM that side 64 uh, MB, when it is started, I think around, so 64 MB RAMs, even that is also cost almost around 3000 rupees. But now, so 8 GB of the RAM, 8 GB RAM we are getting at the same cost. So 8 GB RAM, which is equivalent to the almost I think 4 GB RAM we bought it for 1300. So around 2600 to the 3000. So around 2600 to the 3000 rupees. So there is by seeing this numbers. So in the hardware side there are a lot of advancements, and the hardware and advancements I'm going to talk now. So what are the hardware advancements? If you see the hardware advancements, one is the drastic reduction, reduction, drastic reduction in hardware prices. Okay. The second thing is okay size. Yeah, almost the both comes into the same point. Next also um, multi-core processing, and also advancements in the fabrication of chips, and which will be installed on single bit. Okay. And also, so which gives the parallel processing is the concept of this is it is going to, whenever it is in a single core guys, when the request comes, so the request will yes, the computer is going to keep your request in a queue guys. So if it is in a single core or dual core or multi core, but if you combine with multi core multi-core processors and a single blade, what it will do is, so whenever you get multiple requests, it is going to provide a parallel processing. So that way it provides a parallel processing. Okay, these are all some of the advancements in the hardware side, and also uh, next improvements in OS, improvements in the OS side also guys. So this is the some of the hardware innovations. By looking at these hardware innovations, so by seeing the RAM price, we are getting very cheaper cost compared to the previous days. So instead of keeping the data in the hard disk level, so why don't I cap the data in the RAM level? So or in our application layer level. So that's the motivation behind the SAP, and they started thinking, so why don't we cap the data in the RAM level instead of storing the database level? So if we get the data in the RAM level, so that is the the data is kept very closer to the your presentation level. So that way we can performance that way we can improve the performance of the system guys. So the motive, the ABAP HANA, the HANA database we are going to call it's an, that's why we call HANA is an in-memory database. So the data will be stored. What is exactly the in-memory database is the, so data will be stored in the RAM level instead of hard disk. So it's an in-memory database case. The data will be kept on the RAM level instead of the database in the hard disk level. So that's why the HANA is an in-memory database case. So where the RDBMS systems are not in-memory database, the data will be stored on the hard disk level. So that's why it gives more performance compared to the traditional RDBMS systems. So this is the one of the thing in the software advancements. Even this also I can keep it in the in-memory database. So we have software advancements. So even they thought about the software advancements as well. Suppose when I store the data in a database, in which format it is going to store? So in which format it is going to store? So let's assume, so in the traditional RDBMS systems, so I have any data. So maybe I can take this. So when there is a table, database table, let's assume the table is, so I will go with the three fields, guys. So only three fields I will go, and maybe I will take, it's a VBELN, it's a sales order, and maybe MATNR, it's a product, and also I have a price. I have a three columns in my database, and my order is 100, material is iPhone, and price is 55,000. Then I'm going to order the case, the product, and the cost is 500 rupees. And I have in a one more order 101, and iPhone, sorry, maybe I can say it's in a Vivo product, and the price is 30,000. Okay, and also I have purchased screen guard, and which is, sorry, the order is same 101, and it's in a screen guard, and the cost is around 600 rupees. Okay, so this is my tabular data, and which I have stored in my database case. So or else whenever I create an order, this data will be stored in the VBAC table, right? VBAC and the VBAP tables. So whenever you store the data in RDBMS systems, it stores in a row store, guys. It stores in a row store format. So I will let you know how exactly, what exactly the row store. So it stores the data in a row store fashion. Okay, how exactly the row store will work is, so let's assume, let's take example here. My 100 is my first order, then iPhone, and the next 55,000. Okay, and the next one is again 100, and case, and also 500 rupees, and this will be stored in the database level. Okay, so whenever you create in a table, so in the dictionary, the data will be stored in the database level. Database is nothing but, here is in a hard disk. In the hard disk, it is going to create one file, and the data will be stored in a linear fashion, guys. Row store means it's in a linear. The data will be stored in the database in a linear or uh, sorry, spelling, what about consecutive sequence? So consecutive sequence, guys. This is the exact technical term. It is going to store the data in the database in a consecutive or in a linear, in the linear way, guys. So next order is the, what is the next order? 101, and Vivo, and 30,000, and 101, and screen guard, and it's in a 600 rupees case. So this exactly the row store. So it is going to store in a single file with a linear fashion, or it is, or in a consecutive sequence, guys. Suppose, so if you want to read the data, what you will do, guys? If you want to read the data from database, so what you are going to do? If you want to read the data from database, so maybe I would like to do, select sum of price, okay, from table. This is my select query, guys. So this is my select query. What exactly it will do? It is going to sum up all the order price, and it is going to give the total of your all the orders, right? So if you query this select query, what SAP will do is, so it will go and search in the database in a consecutive way, in a consecutive sequence. First it will go, and maybe function, and print screen, and paint, So control V. See, so what it will do is first it will come, first it will, and it will pick the 55,000. The amount 50, and it will take here 55,000. And then where is the next amount? It goes to the here, and it will search in a consecutive manner, and it takes the value 500. Then it goes to the here, and it will search linearly, and it is going to fetch the data from database, and it is going to put the data here, and next is the 600, and it is going to take 600 rupees, and it is going to calculate, and the total value is my value, guys. Okay, so this is also one of the disadvantages, guys. So whenever you search the data, what it as what the relational database management system will do, it will search the data in a linear fashion, or it is the consecutive fashion, and also it has to traverse through all the records, guys. Just I am taking 3 records. Okay, you are thinking it is simple. Suppose if I have, okay, in the lakhs of records, then how it is going to fetch, how it is going to search. The search time it is going to take is more time when compared to the HANA database. But in HANA, that's why in HANA they have introduced not a roster. In the traditional database system, you can see only the roster fashion. But whenever you comes with the HANA database, so the format of the data, how you can store in the database. So that's one of the uh, invention of SAP by using HANA database. So the way we store the data, the way we store the data in the database. So SAP has introduced a column store approach. So this is the one of the invention or innovation by SAP by using SAP HANA in-memory database. It's in a column store database, and also even it will store by using row store as well, guys. So both in HANA database we can do the both. We can do the column store as well as the row store. So why we have to use column store? Why we have to use row store? I will discuss in few seconds. But we can store the data in both the ways. One is the column store and another one is the row store. Maybe you have the question, so what exactly the column store? We have seen the row store, how exactly it works. But if the same table, if I use the column store, how SAP HANA is going to store in the database? So it's all not visible, guys. So you will not be visible. Most of the things in the uh, the uh, the what I can say, the framework of the SAP HANA database, where you cannot visible these things, but you can visible by running the applications. So maybe if you want to see the exactly the difference between the normal SAP database system with the HANA database, I will show you one of the simple example. And I am going to the normal SAP ECC system, and I have a database table. Mm. So go to the SAP ABAP, sorry, it's not SAP ABAP. I'm working with multiple users. I'm confusing SAP user. So one is the SAP user India 1 2 3 4. Okay, just to go, and I'm going to build one database table. GT HANA test speed test. This is, and create the database table. And that's it. And the maintenance allowed, and fields, and maybe I have a field VBELN, and it's a primary key, and my data element is VBELN underscore VA, and I will go to the POSNR, and this is my item, and it's my POSNR, enter. I have an MAT NR and not a primary key, and it's an MAT NR, and this is my table, and technical settings, and save, and local object, and okay. And maybe I can provide the data class and size category 0. And also, guys, here you can see DB specific properties. Even even they recently even the RDBMS systems also introduced with the column store. Before it is not there. Even they are also upgrading their technology. They come up with the column store as well. And next one is the save and come up with go to properties and save and come back and activate your database table. Okay. And no, and guys, I'm going to maintain the table maintenance generator here. Okay, maintain the table maintenance generator and function group control V and one step and single step one, and I'm creating the table maintenance generator and calculate the time, guys. Okay, save and save and save. Okay, then I go to the ANA database, ANA system, and sorry. So ST ANA 19 and same table SE11 and ANA test and create and create a table and maintenance allowed and fields, and you can give the VBLN and primary key and this VBLN and POSNR primary key and POSNR and MAT and MAT technical settings and save and local object and OK and put the data class and size category and save and come back and activate the things and no and utilities and table maintenance generator and give NC and give this sorry, give this and one step and overview screen one and create table maintenance generator as and as and as. That's it, guys. HANA, it is done the table maintenance and see, and still the table maintenance generator is not yet completed in the traditional RDBMS management systems. That's the here you can see the how you can visible. So this is the performance, the difference between the HANA as a database and RDBMS system as a database, guys. See how long it takes, fraction of seconds it is completed, but still it is not completed. So the performance is improved 100%, guys. Not 100, almost 100% performance gain, guys. So that's the name RDBMS. So 100% performance improvement when we use HANA as an database. Okay, so this is the name. Uh, uh, this is an HANA database performance. Just I have showed. So that is the visibility. But these terms, these kind of things, the parallel processing and all, you doesn't know. But inbuilt in the HANA database itself, they will take the your request. So there is a name. Here I need to activate a lot of objects when I run in a table maintenance generator. It creates in a screen, it creates in a function group, it creates in a structures and all. But when it is an HANA database, so it is going to the objects are going to be generated in a parallel way, guys. In a parallelly, it is going to generate the object. It provides a parallel processing, guys. That's why it is giving 100% performance than the RDBMS traditional RDBMS systems. And so that is the one of the example. And also the way we store the data in the HANA database, it's in a column store. And we have seen the how exactly the row store work. If you take the same table and how the column store it is going to work out. Suppose if you select in a column store, so SAP is going to store the in the database level, guys. So it's not visible actually. So you will not be visible. It's an inbuilt technology which was introduced by the SAP. So first column, it creates one tiny file. So one file for the one column, guys. Previously, one file for all the columns where all the data will be stored in a linear fashion or in a consecutive fashion. But whenever you select a table as in a column store, and it creates a tiny file, a small file for each and every column. This is my column one. For VBLN, it creates one file, and for the POSNR, it creates another file. It's in a VBLN file, it's in a POSNR file, and also it is going to create another file for the matnar. So now tell me the data, what are the orders we have? 100 and 101, 101, so 101. So these are the two records here. And also here I think products iPhone and Vivo and case and also screen guard. Maybe the values, one is the 55,000 and another one is the 30,000 and 500 and 600. So in the same passion, what I am going to do is here I'm going to write in a query. I would like to do in a sum. So what it will do, I would like to do in a sum. Okay, select sum of price, okay, from web app. So what it is going to do is directly it comes to this file. So it is going to come to this file, and here you can see, and directly it is going to, it comes here, and it will sum up the total price of the orders. It is going to give the total price of your sales orders. So no need to go in a consecutive way, and no need to search for the consecutive sequences, and it will directly comes to the file, the price file. It will take the data, it will read the data from the file, it is going to sum up. That way it gives more performance compared to the row store, guys. Column store will provide more performance than the row store, guys. So that is also one of the innovation. So one is the in-memory database. HANA provides an in-memory database where the data will be stored in the RAM level. And the second innovation is the way you store the data in the database. So the way we are going to store the data in the database is the column store approach. Most of the times we use the column store approach, and frequently we are going to use the row store approach. And maybe the question is, when you choose, suppose you got an opportunity to create a database table. So in what case you will choose column store, in what case you are going to choose a row store, guys. And this is my column store, and the data will be stored. So maybe how exactly the data will be stored in the column store. So the data will be stored in the column store. The data will be stored in each stored for each column. It creates a tiny file or small file. Tiny file is nothing but a small file. For each column, it creates a name separate tiny file. Separate tiny file. So that's a column storage. It creates a separate tiny file, and it provides greater performance when we read the data from the database case. When we read it, so it is going to provide a greater performance compared to the row store. That's a column store approach, guys. That's a column store approach. So this is the some of the foundations about the HANA database. What exactly the HANA? And HANA stands for high performance analytical appliance, and also it's an in-memory database, and also it provides the column store approach, and HANA provides a column store approach, guys. And these are the some of the innovations. Not only these software innovations, guys, and also we have another innovations called. So the another innovation is then data compression. It provides a data compression, and also it provides a data partition. It provides a data partition, and also it provides a code push down, guys. This is the major advantage of the HANA database. Code push down. So with the HANA database, we can push down our data intensive logic or data manipulation logic into the database level. With the code push down, we can push the data intensive logic or data processing logic into the database level. So what exactly the code push down we are going to see now, guys, and also data compression and data partition and code push down we will see. Let's assume, guys, I have one more field. I have a currency, guys. So let's assume there is definitely, if there is an amount for currency, definitely there is a currency key field. If it is a quantity and quantity key field, we are going to have in the same way. I am going to have one more currency field, guys, and I'm going to insert so one more tiny file for the currency column. Maybe my order, first two orders from the India, guys. First two orders from the India. Second two orders from the US. And second or third two orders from the US. And fourth orders from the Europe. And UUR and UUR and UUR and EUR and EUR. So this is the data which is coming, where the orders are coming in, guys. But how HANA stores the data in the database is, so it doesn't store the duplicate records in the database level. Instead of duplicates, INR, it stores only the INR. Instead of USD, it stores only USD. And instead of euro, it stores only the EUR, guys. It doesn't store the duplicate records. It will compress the data, guys. So that is also one of the advantage of the HANA database. It's a data compression, data compression technique, guys. Next one is the code push down. What exactly the code push down I am going to talk about now. So I told, so the data code push down technique. So we are going to push down the data intensive logic or data processing logic into the database level, guys. So exactly I'm going to talk about data push down here. So maybe I will go to the architecture again. Very, very important, guys. Architecture of SAP. Control C and control. So if you understand SAP architecture, then only it will be very easier to understand the SAP. You can do anything with the SAP if you understand the architecture. This is my architecture of the SAP. You all know. So this is my presentation layer, guys. In the presentation layer, maybe I am going to input P underscore VKO which is equal to the 1000. This is my input and G. I execute but is on the this is my input and button I would like to show. So for this month, so what is the value? Should check before writing the select queries, guys, by using for all entries. But I have seen even 10 and 11 years experience people are so doing the same kind of mistakes without writing this. They are writing the for all entries. They are asking me to approve the code, guys, but I doesn't approve. I don't approve this kind of code. You should check the for all entries before writing the for all entries. You should check whether that internal table is empty or not. Select star from VBAP, and maybe I will do like this. Select sum of NETWR. This is my price field from WebApp, and for all entries in GT underscore WebApp, right? And where VBELN of VBAP equal to the GT underscore VBAP hyphen VBELN. So this is my data intensive logic, or I can call this in a data processing logic, guys. So this is executed where this code is executed, guys. So this code is executed. Um, this code is executed. All your ABAP code will execute in the application layer. So this is my database layer, guys. So when I do the select, it goes to the database, and the data will comes to the application layer. And again, I will go to the database again to hit the database web app, and I will fetch the data, and I will keep in the two internal tables, and I am going to do some manipulations in the ABAP layer. So when you do this, guys, this kind of concept, I can call this concept is in a triangular. Where is the triangular, guys? Do you see any triangular concept? Huh? Yeah. So this is my triangular shape, guys, and I will just flip this triangle like this. So what I am doing here, I am doing more process. Okay. And what I am doing here, I'm doing more here and less here, guys. I'm doing more here and I'm doing very less here. I'm doing more processing, right? Here I'm doing more processing. I'm selecting the data and processing the data. And also if you want to do more logical things, select queries, if conditions, I can do a lot of manipulations. So yeah, this kind of approach we are going to call it's a name. So if you do more on the ABAP layer and less on the database layer, this approach we call it's a name. Okay. Data to code. So we are getting the data and we are doing a lot of code on top of it. So this paradigm we are going to call its name data to code paradigm, guys. This paradigm I will call this is a data to code. So I'm getting a lot of data and I'm doing a lot of code to achieve my result. This paradigm we call it's a data to code paradigm. And take this Control C and Control V and just flip this, and here we do more on the database level. We do more on the database. See, guys, the triangle, the it seems so we are doing more, and gradually we are doing less on the database level. But here if you can see, we are doing more on the database, we are doing less on the above processing layer. So here we are doing more, here we are doing less. This paradigm we are going to call its a name reverse, guys. What is the reverse? Code to data paradigm. This we are going to call it's a code to data paradigm. So this technique, guys, this techniques gives more performance. So instead of doing the manipulations on top of my application layer, what I will do is I will write a name, one of the technique, code push down technique, guys. So I will push down this code to the database level, and there I am going to do a manipulation. The final result I am going to get back to my application layer, guys. So I don't so when you run your program more time on the application layer in the performance wise, so it's not good. Even it's a load balancing point of view, it impacts even other applications as well. So instead of that, so I'm going to push down this to the database level, where the database is built up based on the parallel processing, guys. So when I send this select queries to the database, so HANA works based on the parallel processing by using multi-core CPUs. So one select query will run in one branch, the another select query will run in another branch, and the final result it will give in the result branch, guys. It gives by using parallel processing, it is going to provide more performance. That's why when you use the HANA database, always don't write the plain select OpenSQL queries. So instead of 100 select queries, if you push down all your 100 select queries into your database level, the HANA will work by using parallel processing, and it executes very less time compared when you compare when you running your select query on the on top of your ABAP layer or application layer, guys. This is what we are going to call it's a code push down technique, guys. So the code push down techniques. So here I am going to talk about only on ABAP developer point of view, guys. So here the concept called AMDP and CDS, guys. So these two are the code push down techniques uh, in the HANA as an ABAPer point of view, where we are going to write the AMDP and CDS on top of the HANA database, guys. So I don't talk about the HANA modeling perspective. And database, we have different kind of components, guys. In database, we can do DQL, DDL, we can do DQL, we can do DML, we can do the DCL, we can do the TCL, and we have the procedures and functions, and we have sequences, triggers, lot of things. Any database contains these components, and normally a ABAPer cannot work with a database. So database is different. It's a database consultant, database administrator is going to work on top of the HANA database. So here we are going to talk about AMDP and CDS, and this is enough, guys. Very powerful concept in the ABAP on HANA. So what exactly the AMDP and what exactly the CDS we are going to see in the next few classes. And if you want to write an AMDP, you need to know the SQL script, guys. SQL script you should know. So before going to that, guys, and how exactly in even SAP there is an architecture, but what exactly the SAP HANA architecture, that we are going to see in that tomorrow's class, guys. SAP HANA foundation. So what are the foundations behind HANA? So what are the innovations and what is the foundations to build the HANA database? They have tied up with a different platform. Sorry, and so with that platform, with that components, they are able to build the HANA appliance. It's an HANA is not only a database; it's an appliance. It's a combination of hardware and software, guys. So what is hardware and what is software, and what are the components in HANA HANA database or HANA appliance, and what is exactly the SAP HANA architecture? How exactly the HANA will work? So that we are going to see in the tomorrow's class. That's a history of HANA database, database and advancements, and that's it for today. Do you have any questions? Anna, the experience. Do you have any question? Huh? What is the question? So data to code. That means we are fetching the data, required data from the database, and we are writing the code to get the desired result. Here, code to data. So here we are writing lot of code. The the code we are pushing down to the database level. So my triangle here means, so here the lot of manipulations, the lot of data intensive logic, the lot of data processing logic I am bringing down to the database level. So here we are doing very less. We are getting the desired result in the ABAP layer. That means we are doing very less on the ABAP layer, but we are doing lot in the database level. That's why I put triangle base on the database level and triangle top I am putting on the ABAP layer level. That means this indicates we are doing very less. This indicates we are doing a lot on the database layer. So that's the this I will call it a code to data paradigm. So we are pushing our code into the database level. In the database level, it is going to do in a manipulation, and it is going to give a desired result back to the ABAP layer, guys. That's a code to data paradigm or code push down technique, guys. The two code push down techniques are the AMDP and CDS, ABAP managed database procedure, and CDS core data services, guys. So this is a yeah. Yo, no, RDBMS also, yes, it is possible with the core data services, but where AMDP you cannot do on the RDBMS systems. Yes, it is possible in CDS in the RDBMS system uh, from the version of SAP NetWeaver 7.4, guys. So from the version, if your ABAP version is, if your ABAP version, if you want to see the status, system status, and if you see this is my database, HANA database, no problem, and I can do that. And now you can see my ABAP layer. It's my 7.5, guys. My ABAP NetWeaver version is 7.5. And but if I go to my normal system, and which is system and status, and if you see, this system is working on RDBMS system. MSSQL is my database. And if you go to the ABAP version, and here you can see the ABAP version is 7.40. Yes, guys, with the lab system, I can do the CDS, but I need to install the Eclipse. If I install the Eclipse, I can do the uh, core data services in the lab server as well, guys. In the lab server as well. Yeah, but AMDP is not possible. Fury is not possible. OData is not possible in my lab server. Okay, because it's not internet enabled server. That's what is the question? Uh, you can whatever, how many you want, you can create that many columns. Yeah, that many. Yeah. So I will provide more on that. So tomorrow, when we use column store, when we use the row store. Suppose you got a question. Most of the times we are going to create custom tables. So what a type of table, what type of store we are going to select, that we will see in the tomorrow's class. That I will give the difference between column store and row store, and when to use column store and when to use the row store, guys. So that's an overview and history of an SAP HANA database. And tomorrow we are going to talk about HANA architecture. Then um, uh, the course content will be like this. So maybe I will come here. So I will take it out this. So in this course, we are going to see ABAP new syntax, guys. Okay. So already we are seeing some of the things, but I will explore more ABAP new syntaxes. We have seen inline declarations and move corresponding. And what else we have seen? New statement to create an object. So that three we have used. Maybe more I will use the ABAP new syntax and SQL new statements. Open SQL, guys. So Open SQL new statements and editing ABAP and development tools by using Eclipse. Till now you have seen building programs by using SAP editor SE38, but we see how to build the ABAP programs by using Eclipse software. That's also we are going to see. And next thing is I'm going to talk about SOH migration. So when you are, I will tell later. And S4H HANA, S4 HANA migration. Okay, it's a technical migration, guys. I'm not talking about data migration. So as an ABAPer, I should know what is the technical migration. I don't talk about the data migration. And as for HANA migration and SQL script, guys, we are going to learn SQL script, SQL script. We are going to learn the SQL script. Like ABAP, we learn, right? ABAP thumb rules. Like even SQL script also, I'll start with the SQL script thumb rules. How we can build the SQL script. Then AMDP. If you want to build AMDP, you need to have an SQL script. Then CDS, Core Data Services, and BOPF, Business Object Process Framework, and CDS with Fury. I will introduce the Fury and Fury security. Okay, and CDS with Fury and Fury security, BOPF, CDS, and AMDP. Yes, guys, this is the enough content which is required for the ABAP on HANA, guys. So with this, guys, you can easily handle. So if you learn these techniques, I bet, guys, everybody will get more than 8 lakhs package, guys. 8 lakhs is minimum package. But you should able to, okay. So this is my antibiotics. If you take these antibiotics, minimum package is 8 lakhs, and maximum, if you have the guts and capabilities, you can get 15 lakhs as well. Okay, but you should be having a proper communication skills and business knowledge little bit, but not now. but definitely in the future you are going to have a bright future. And please concentrate on my next 20 classes. And if you learn very easy guys, compared to ABAP, this content is very easy. So if you give me the object orientation, I feel it's tough, but these things are very easy than the object orientation. And if you give me the module program, I feel it's very tough. But if you give me these objects, I feel it's very easy guys. But just you should be having system knowledge, that's the thing. So whatever I explain, you should understand. So when you understand is, if you have strong fundamentals in the ABAP, where the select queries and loops, okay, work areas, and so this is enough for me. And so you can easily understand little bit object orientation also required is. Object orientation is key for all these concepts. Object orientation is concept. I use object orientation in AMDP. I use uh, um, in the CDS with Fury, and Fury also BOPF. Everywhere we are going to use the object orientation concept, guys. So that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the class today, and